you're self-aware that you're a creep, but you're never going to run away with that creepiness. I think once I accepted or learned, or I guess you kind of accept and you learn, everyone's born into different animals. We all have different animals, different features, different dark this, blue that, light that, green this, blue, brown that. Like, but it's self-awareness. I think the creeps who are not self-aware, they probably let those creepy thoughts creep in their mind, and then they obsess about the creepy thoughts. To me, if I have a creepy thought, you let it be a thought, and then it floats away. You never hold on to it and obsess about it. You don't become Chris D'Elia. You don't want to become a Chris D'Elia. But Chris D'Elia is a really good example of the dark hair, the dark, broody, dark eyes. Yeah, a lot of guys like that are creeps. That's the main creeper profile. I mean, I even got the creeper glasses to go with it, but we're natural born creeps. Kind of slithery, kind of slimy. That doesn't necessarily mean all the creeps are actually acting upon their creepy thoughts. That's where my self-awareness comes in of like, it's almost like being able to look at it from your soul and look at it from your ego. Your ego's like, oh man, I'm kind of stuck in a creepy animal. But then my soul is like, I would never hurt anybody. I don't want to do disgusting shit. I'm a pretty good guy, soul-wise. Animal-wise, I'm coming into my fucking 40s almost. I'm almost fucking 38, so it's that creepiness of like, eh. And then I guess it's just self-awareness in general of if you're self-aware that you're not a creep and you don't ever have creepy thoughts and you don't ever have any kind of like, and creepy thoughts, I guess we can't even say what they are because I don't have any creepy thoughts that I obsess upon. That's the difference, is the, if you're self-aware to know what kind of animal you're in, I guess that's what's made me study my thoughts more. So then if a creepy thought ever comes in, I'm like, you just let it fly by. You're like, oh yeah, that was kind of a sick thought, and you just let it go. The Chris D'Elias and the people like that, they're creeps like I am, where they're natural born creeps, but when that thought arises to do the creepy thing, they don't just let it go. They hold on to it, and then they're like, yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I could talk to that underage girl, and I could, you know, that's all Chris D'Elia was doing. And it's not the, I'm not saying you should judge a book by its cover, but you should judge a book by its cover in the way of like, what do all the creeps have in common? What do creepy people have in common? Is it the dark features? Is it the dark eyes? Is like, because I have dark eyes, but they're not dark. They're not brown. I mean, they're not black. Where is that feeling of like, some people just have black eyes where you're like, Jesus Christ, your eyes are dark as fuck. You might be evil. It's not like they're evil, but they're very capable of it because they're animals. We're all animals. It's all a big nervous system. You're in a giant, you're in a nervous system and you're in a creepy animal. Maybe you're not, but I kind of am. I'm kind of in a creepy animal. He has creepy thoughts here and there, but I let them go as fast as they came in. You can't fixate on the shit. You can't obsess about it. The fixation, I think that's where the real creeps. Somebody like me who's like, yeah, I'm kind of creepy, and I know it, and I'm self-aware of it, and I do strange things to my body once in a while. But that wouldn't be creepy. That's more like, well, as long as you're doing it to yourself, you're just stimulating. You're self-soothing. That's kind of all masturbation and things of like that are. Like, it's self-soothing. You are self-soothing yourself with another person. Sorry. This might not be for everybody. This might not be the topic that everyone wants to discuss, but it's just, I'm being honest. I guess that's it. I'm giving you my testimonial as a creepy guy who's not really a creep. I'm not the stalker type. I'm not the fucking pedophile type. I'm not none of those kind of creepy types. But I've noticed that there's a lot of them. There's a lot of stalker types. There's a lot of pedo creepy types. There's so many different types of creepers that when you get labeled as a creep or you even exude some creepy behavior, well, yeah, we don't want to deal with that. We don't need that. Self-aware of my own creepiness. Maybe that's not the perfect title for this. Self-aware of my own creepiness. It's creepy crawly. I mean, that's really it. Like, we're all creepy crawly. We're all kind of slithering, fucking nasty animals. But some people are creepier than others, and you can judge the book by its cover. If you were looking at Jeffrey Dahmer and you're not thinking he's a creep, then you're probably a fucking weirdo. If you look at a guy like Jeffrey Dahmer and you think that he's a good boy, it's like, okay, well, he was probably a good boy. I'm sure he was a good boy at one point, but ended up, he had creepy thoughts and then he acted upon them and obsessed with them. So I think that's the fucking difference between people who are creepy and people who really go overboard and they actually let it out. Oh, I wonder what that little, I wonder what that would taste like. I wonder what that would feel like. It's like, oh my God, you can't run with those thoughts. You cannot run with those thoughts. If you have creepy thoughts, you have sick, sadistic thoughts. It doesn't even if they're just homicidal thoughts, you really want to GTA that person right out of your fucking way. That's not a creepy thought, it's homicidal, but it's kind of in the same realm of like, you're having a thought that you'll never act upon. You know, God, I wish that motherfucker would just die. Get the fuck out of my way. Yeah, but you're not actually going to act upon that. You've never killed that person. So that's basically what I'm kind of discussing of having the self-awareness to be able to observe my own thoughts, listening to my own thoughts. It's not about just being careful what you say. You have to be careful about what you think. If you think certain thoughts, they will infect your mind and you will become obsessed. You will become fixated on it. That's all this is. That's all of it is. You become fixated on a person, relationship wise. They become fixated on you. It's hard to pull away. It's hard to break up, etc., etc. So it's very relatable to every single human person with a brain, but it's just different categories. My category would be like, well, he kind of looks a little creepy. He's not completely creepy. He looks, he looks pretty well to do, like in the way of he's put himself together, but he's got those creepy ass glasses that are the size of 1980s TV screens. I don't know. And he's kind of got that soul piercing look, and when I'm just sitting in a parking lot, people are looking at me like, who the fuck is that guy? Are they thinking I'm a creep? I don't necessarily know. That's just an assumption. Most of us are assuming what everyone else is thinking, and if you stopped assuming what everyone was thinking, you wouldn't just sit around thinking thoughts that don't actually matter in the way of actual matter. That's all I used to do when I was a kid, when I was younger. Getting high with my friends was basically, hey, let's get high, and then we'll sit around and think about what the other person's thinking. And all of it's 90% of it's assumption, and it's all bullshit. So I guess I'm telling you my point of view and my perspective as a creepy kind of guy who will never act upon his creepiness because I'm aware that, well, I love myself enough to never do stupid shit like that, to go to prison. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to even do the creepy thing in the first place to even get myself incarcerated or get myself in a worse situation than I'm already in. So that's a lot of where I've seen the Chris D'Elia thing, and I've studied Chris D'Elia. If you don't know who Chris D'Elia is, he's a comedian. He was texting underage girls. He had a lot of underage girl bullshit going on. But he's one of those, he's a prime example of you should judge the book by its cover. Chris D'Elia is a creepy motherfucker. Very creepy. The more you look into it and the more actual footage of him fucking texting girls in the audio recordings, it's creepy, and he acted upon it. You can be a creep. You can be a creep all you want, just don't fucking act upon it. You look like you message underage girls. Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I mean by the creepiness. So then that's my self-awareness of like, it doesn't matter what kind of assumptions you cast upon me. I already know myself enough to know that I'm not an actual creep in that way. So it's the same thing of like not letting anyone define you. Don't listen to the naysayers, don't listen to bullshit. But that's my self-awareness. You look like a guy who messages underage girls. Well, yeah, of course I do. I'm sure I do. That's what I mean by self-awareness. Like, I'm self-aware of how my image is. I'm very self-aware of my image is creepy. Okay, well, why is it creepy? Well, because we assume that people that look like you do certain things like this. Well, why do you do that? Well, because we kept track of everyone who did creepy shit and we see what they look like. And then you can look at the natural evolution of people and just be like, that guy's Irish. Okay, so he's going to be more like this. Oh, there's a redhead, so it's not, dude. Laugh out loud. What's not? What the fuck are you referring to? Tom O.B. And we got a billionaire in here. Yeah, you can change your name to billionaire. Ooh, wow, that's great. But anyways, Yeah, as long as I can stay on topic and stay on the subject of creepiness, then I think I'll be okay. I didn't even want. I'm like, should I? Should I? Well, yeah, that's what I want to be known for. I want to be known for my open awareness, spreading of here. Here's my experience of it as being a creep who never acted upon it. So it's that feeling of, and then seeing people like Chris D'Elia who's acted upon it, and it's like, okay, Chris, well, I could tell you were a fucking weirdo creep, not only just by your comedy, but by judging your body language and the mannerisms, and just judging and assuming that, nah, that guy's gonna use his power and his success as a fucking weapon. He's gonna use it in a predatory way. So that's really it. All these people we really, really looked up to, not even maybe looked up to, but we really liked. That one band, Brand New, the band's name is Brand New. That guy got, I guess, some allegations against him for minor shit. If you psychologically think about it, once you become successful and rich and famous and you have access to all these resources, and then you have all these people loving you, and a lot of these people that love you happen to be underage fucking girls and boys, okay, well, that's got to be a power trip. You have a familiar voice. No, I have a famous voice. I have a voice that you'll always remember because the voice, that's it. When you hear other people's voices, you can tell immediately, like, it's a message and a messenger. So the message is coming out of, the message is what I'm saying, but the messenger is part of the voice. So when there's people that have a good message, but they don't have a good voice, it's hard to listen to it. Like Robert F. Kennedy, prime example. Robert F. Kennedy, he's got a really great message, but he's got a shitty fucking voice. So it's hard to want to maintain listening. And I listen. I force myself to listen because I know it's good information. I know I'm getting educated or at least understanding what's going on. But his voice sucks. If Robert F. Kennedy had the messenger and the message down, it'd be perfect. But his messenger, his voice is kind of shitty. We could use AI to fix that for you, Robert. We could. We could use it. Everything that Robert F. Kennedy says could be said into the microphone, and then it could be presented in out of the speakers in an actual soothing voice. But it'd have to be up to him. He would need to be the one to say, yeah, I need to pick a better voice, and I need to pick a voice that I want, so then I can do the AI thing, and it can just translate my voice into a soothing voice, because the message and the messenger are important. He's got a good message, but the messenger has a really bad voice. I'm a good messenger. I have a really good voice. So I'm the kind of person you could pay to be a talking head. Hey, we like your cadence. We like your articulation. We like the way you pronounce things. We like the deepness and the raspiness of your voice. Let's pay this guy to be a talking head. But that's where I want to be my own messenger, and I want to relay my own message. Here's my message. I don't want to get paid to fucking be a talking head. Oh, hey guys, here's some arsenic baby formula for you. Your baby will love it. Does your baby cry too much? Just give them arsenic baby formula. Yeah. Oh, wow, you got a really good delivery there, Mr. Hall, but do you believe in your message? No, I don't. If I was selling arsenic baby formula. So anyways, yeah, I'm very self-aware. I've done a lot of studying, and not studying of other people, studying of myself. If it's a case study, you think of it as a case. Everyone gets a case file. Here's your case study. It's your person, your ego, your storyline, your narrative, whatever. Elmer, I've studied Elmer more than I've studied anybody. So actually studying yourself helps you understand the rest of the world, because you are the same as everybody else. Every body is a nervous system. Every body bleeds if you stab them. Doesn't matter what they believe, doesn't matter the color of their skin, doesn't even matter what their name or their religion or their belief system is. Stab them and they bleed. You punch them in the face, it hurts. It's a nervous system. So we are all the same. Study yourself, you'll know more about the rest of us. So I've done a lot of research. I've really isolated myself for like 10 years straight. From like 23 to 33, I checked out of society. And what I mean by checked out of society is I was living with a woman who had good money, had a good job, took care of everything, bought us a house. We were out in the country. She was the man, breadwinner, and I was just the bitch. And I'll admit it, I was being a bitch. But it's only in the eyes of that common societal norm of, well, the man should be working and the woman should. It's all whatever, it's a cliche. So in that time, I've learned a lot about myself, and I've just studied my own nervous system, and I see what makes me tick, and I see I hear the intrusive thoughts, and then I know what to do with them because I've done a lot of practice. I've done a lot of mantras and meditation, and I've studied every goddamn religion there is because I just want to know what humans believe. They believe a bunch of fairy tale, fucking narcissistic bullshit. Humans are fucking retarded. So it's like we're not that smart because we're still believing in fairy tales. So then again, I'm like, well, the fairy tales hold you back when you could just do some psychedelics, do some psilocybin, become self aware, expand your consciousness, understand more about yourself. Then you're going to understand more about the world around you because you are the world around you, because you're literally a meat suit harnessing this fucking thing. It's a vessel. You're the thing in the vessel. You're not the vessel. You know what I mean? Like, so I can say Elmer's a creep. Elmer has creepy things. But the reality is, I'm not this body. The I, you know what I mean? Your I, it's like a breath within the breath. The I that, who's the one thinking these thoughts? And who's the one hearing these thoughts think themselves? And if you think about thoughts and you think about thoughts, and that's majority of people, they're not actually thinking about reality, they're thinking about thoughts. And then you live a whole life of just nothing but thoughts. You're not actually living in the physical reality, you're living in your mind. It's almost like everything is up here from your neck up. It's a whole big cloud of just like, this is my ego and this is everything in my retirement. And then if you just came down to earth and came back to your senses, you'd live a little bit below your neck. It's the same thing with the chakras. If you want to live in your fucking stomach or live in your pelvis, sexual, food, get up in your heart, get up in your throat, get up in your gland. But once you go so high, you almost stay there. Because then, wow, we're all just living in our heads. Nobody really wants to, you know. I like the physical reality. I love reality. Reality is actually great. It's mostly just the thoughts. All that upper world bullshit, thinking, that's what brings the negativity. My physical reality is not that bad. I'm in a car, I'm warm, I'm comfortable, I've got clothes, I've got food, I've got shelter, I've got money, I've got technology, I've got communication, I've got some connection, I've got an audience, I've got the blah, 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 I've got the floor. So it's no big deal. But if you start thinking and you have all that upper, above the neck kind of thought and you live in that world, man, it gets fucking cloudy. It gets real fucking cloudy. Cloudy with a chance of meatballs, and those meatballs don't even taste that good. They're not stuffed with cheese. They're not even cooked that well. And you're just eating a sloppy ass meatball. That's a metaphor for people's talk. Anyways, back onto the subject of self-awareness and creepiness. I try not to be a creep. I really try. I try not to be. But as I'm getting older, I'm finding it harder to like hide the creepiness. I like staring. I like admiring. To me, it's admiration when you stare at somebody. And I'm not saying strangers. I'm not saying I stare at strangers. What I'm saying is when I'm with somebody that I love and I am in a relationship, I really like to stare at them, and that's creepy. So then they like, what are you staring at? And it's like, I'm admiring you. I'm like admiring the shape of your body. I'm admiring your personality. I'm admiring that cute thing you said 2 hours ago, and I'm remembering that. But I'm doing all that thinking and all that loving and admiration when I'm looking at her. But then again, if you do that to a stranger, you're fucking creepy. You're fucking creepy. If I was just sitting here at the Walmart parking lot and I'm just looking and just admiring these strangers, that's creepy. It's even kind of creepy when you're admiring your loved one because it's still that. Here's how I put it. If you are in your kitchen, you're minding your own business, and there's a wolf in your kitchen, but the wolf is minding its own business. It's not paying attention to you. But you're there and you're just like, whoa, there's a wolf in the kitchen. But at least he's not paying attention to me. So it's not that creepy. Still kind of creepy that he's there. His presence is creepy enough. But the wolf is just paying attention to the floor and he's looking for something to eat. The second that that wolf in your kitchen looks at you and gives you nothing but fucking dead, fucking pure attention, that's when it gets scary. That's when it's like the nervous system's like, oh God, that's creepy. So the difference between admiration and creepiness, well, it's still an opinion and it's still a nervous system thing. Staring at your loved one and making them feel creeped out, it's not necessarily your fault. I'm only talking about this because I had it the other night. I was with a woman. Haven't been with this woman in a while. Had a great night, had a great time, and I was just admiring her. I was just like really in love with her at the moment. It was a temporary, like, man, this woman's great. She's really awesome. She's really nice. We had a great dinner, had a great time. God, she's just so sweet. This is exactly what I needed. So I was kind of just staring and just admiring. I was kind of stoned too. And she's like, "What are you staring at?" And I'm like, "I'm just admiring you." And she's like, "Stop it." And it was kind of a cute, playful thing, but I still could feel that I had made her uncomfortable because I was staring at her. But then again, was it me that made her uncomfortable? Or was she uncomfortable being stared at? Where that's it too, of like, well, I'm pretty comfortable if you're staring at me, but then I'm not because it depends on who the fuck you are. When I get people walking around my car and they're just staring at me, I kind of want to ask them, like, what? What do you need? Could I help you? Can I fucking help you? Behind closed doors, I'm pretty mean. You have from, yeah, the fucking, I don't know what it is with the comments. They like boop up and it's like, it's not a new comment. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a great day. It's fucking foggy as fuck here. My name's Elmer. This is Elmer's World. You guys just happen to live in it. Everyone should feel that way. Everyone should study themselves enough and boost your ego enough to know that it's pretty much solipsism. Pretty much solipsism. You're pretty much the only fucking person here. It's like Interstellar, or not Interstellar, but Inception. I was just watching Matthew McConaughey the other night. It's like Inception, where you are the dreamer, and once everyone realizes that, they're going to try to attack you and kill you. Pretty much. So you can't always just know that you're the dreamer. You have to kind of like go along with the plot, and you got to go along with the twist. But for the most part, it's solipsism. You are it. You're the only one here. We're all projections of your imagination, and this is one big hallucination. It's pretty fun though. It's a fun hallucination. It's simulation, hallucination, ejaculation, masturbation, complication, whatever you need it to be. It can be whatever fake ass word we want to make up next. You want to make some words up? We can. Oh, what are words? Sounds out of your face? Agreed upon sounds? Agua, agua, agua. What the fuck does agua mean? Water. Oh, well, why did we make that word up? Because we wanted to know where the fucking water was. Are you in the void? No, it can't be avoided, so probably I've been there. I've been to the void and then I had to come back. And I didn't want to. Trust me, I didn't want to come back. But you can't avoid it. You gotta live your life. No matter how many substances I've done, no matter under what circumstances I've done those substances, I always come back. Always. No matter how blurry you get your consciousness, I always remain conscious and I always come back to consciousness. Ketamine, DMT, MDMA, LSD, all the initials, all the abbreviations, you could do them all at once. You're still going to come back. You're still going to come back. I mean, you could really try to fry your brain, but then you're just going to be stuck in schizophrenia. That's all schizophrenia is. Schizophrenia is when you're stuck in a trip and you don't know you're tripping. That's why it can be paranoid, and sometimes it's not, because it depends on the psyche and the psychic ability that you have. So when I smoke weed, for example, after doing all the drugs I've done, nowadays when I smoke weed, I have a susceptibility to getting paranoid. I might get paranoid. I might have these paranoid thoughts coming to my mind, but I've Yoda mastered my psyche enough to be like, oh, that's what that is. That's because I'm high. Those thoughts aren't real. I don't need to worry about the cops because I don't even have a warrant. And I don't even have this. And I don't even have any weed in my car. And like all this paranoid thinking comes from just being high. It wasn't, and it's from years of drug use, though, too. Once you do a lot of drugs, you will hurt your brain. You will affect your brain. And then things, it's not like you're going to have flashbacks, but you're never going to be the same again. You won't be the same. And that's not really positive or negative. It goes both ways. Every single psychedelic trip I've ever taken has changed me in a certain way, or at least made me reevaluate what the fuck it is I was doing with my life. It's helped me become more self-aware. I accredit all my self-awareness to psychedelics because before psychedelics, I was not very self-aware. I had no idea. I probably didn't even have a thought I probably didn't even think before psychedelics, really. When you really think about it, before psychedelics, I wasn't really thinking. I was just doing. I was doing what you told me. I was getting the job. I was supporting my children. I was blah, 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 blah. I was doing everything that I thought I had to do. Then I ate the psychedelics, and the psychedelics were like, hey, man, um, you don't have to do that. I was like, what? Yeah, yeah, Elmer, it's your life. And just because all those people are doing that, and they're buying houses and they're getting cars, they're getting payments that they can't afford, and they're getting themselves into debt up to their eyeballs, you don't have to do that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Before psychedelics, I was just a doer of do what society's doing, do what everyone else is doing, go along with it. Then I ate the mushroom. The mushroom was like, you don't have to. That was kind of the worst fucking message I probably ever could have received. That was the worst message I could have ever fucking received. And I'm only saying it in the way of, God damn, did that ruin my life. Holy fuck, did that ruin my life. I would have been better off not knowing that I had a choice. Because you always have a choice. You always have a choice. No matter where you're at, what you're doing, you always have a fucking choice. You could choose to just do nothing and just lay there and shit yourself, piss yourself, and do nothing. You could choose to get up and just walk and just start walking. Don't take your stuff, leave it all behind, just walk. These are always options that you probably don't want to pick and you probably don't want to choose. And there's that safety mechanism that's built into our conditioning that's like, hey, just go along with the Joneses and keep up with the masses and you'll be a lot better off. That's the easy way out. If you want to go against the grain and you want to like take a 10-year sabbatical, you might be deemed a fucking nuisance. You might be deemed somebody who doesn't contribute to society. That's how everyone saw me. Elmer doesn't contribute to society. Elmer doesn't want to get a job. Elmer doesn't pay taxes. We can't sell Elmer a lawnmower because he doesn't even own a fucking lawn. We can't even sell him a car. He doesn't have a job or a credit score. What the fuck good is this guy? How can we use him for our consumerism? And I was like, you can't, because I'm not buying. What do you mean? I'm not buying. I'm not buying whatever you're selling. I'm not buying. I would say I'm not buying it, but that's kind of, no, I'm just not buying. I'm not in the purchasing area. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to perpetuate a system that's broken. That was my stance. I'm not going to perpetuate or affiliate myself with a fucking system that doesn't seem to work for anybody but the fucking few small percentage of people that run the system. It's not that the system is broken, it's that the system has been mismanaged. If you had a dumbass, retarded manager of McDonald's, well, the McDonald's will suffer. Well, is that the McDonald's fault? Is it McDonald's that sucks? Or is it that manager at that one particular McDonald's? And that's how it is. So now that we're getting new management into the government and into the system, we'll see how much of an overhaul they can make and we'll see how much of a difference they can make. And then we'll see. It'll be a fact thing. It's not about opinions. It's not about speculation. It's about let's see what actually changes. Let's see what actually happens. Take note. Keep track. This is my life before Trump. This is my life after Trump. This is my life before Elon Musk and the DOGE. This is my life after the DOGE. And then be scientific and look at the differences. If there ain't much difference, then stop listening to all that stupid shit and all that stupid news. It's not even worth it. If there's a huge difference, maybe be a part of it and contribute and say, yeah, you know what? This is making actual differences. These are differences I can actually see. Then do it. Jump on board. Climb aboard the Walmart Express. Yay. Whatever the fuck it is, but it's do your own fucking research. Your best news source is your firsthand experience. You are your greatest news source. Your firsthand experience is your greatest news source. Well, I saw it on TikTok. No, that's not firsthand. That's in your hand first, but it's not firsthand experience because you saw a video of it. Especially with AI nowadays and where it's going, your news source, your best one, will be your firsthand experience, your personal experience. Yeah, I was there. I heard him say that into the microphone and it came out of the PA and that's what he fucking said. And I even have the recording of it. Shit like that. That's a firsthand. It's your recording? You actually took that video? Yes, so then you know. And anyone watching the video, They don't fucking know for sure. You don't know unless you were there. It's everything, man. It's everything. January 6th and this and meh, 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 meh. See, I get off track. I ramble. Godspeed. Okay, Moxie IQ. Moxie or just Mox? Mox IQ? Man, I can't see anyone's profile pictures really. They're all so tiny. Hey man, how's doing? It's doing. It's a nice fucking like looking like a foggy. Really foggy. Almost has that dead or Dawn of the Dead kind of feel. You know, nobody's alive. Everybody's dead, and they're all shopping at Walmart. You betcha. It's a lovely day to be okay. What do you say? We'll go to the bay. We'll make things out of clay. Don't be gay. And if you want to be gay, and if you are gay, well, that's cool because you're probably happy, right? I'm happy. I'm so happy because that's very gay of you. I know, it's so gay. We're just so gay. It's going to be okay. It'll be okay. Do you mean to say it's going to be okay? Yeah, it's going to be okay. Because it's going to be fine. It's going to be just great. Jizz great? Did you say you're going to jizz great? Jizz great and jizz good. It's going to be the holiday season's giving me wood. Yeah. I'm sure it gives you more than just wood there. Oh my God, how did you know? I'm a good person, okay? I'm a good person. Anyone who ever tells you that, if you ever have someone in your life in front of you say, but I'm a good person, I'm a good person, you know 1000% they're not a good person. They're not. You're not a good person. Whoever's hearing this and whoever says that stupid shit on the regular, guess what? You're not a good person. We already know you're not a good person. You know how we know you're not a good person? Because you're telling us you're a good person. Anyone telling us they're a good person is not a good person. Yeah, I'm a gangster, bro. Yeah, I'm a gangster. Oh, so you're not a gangster. Okay. Oh, yeah, I do this and I do that. So you sit around on your mom's fucking couch. Okay. But yeah, man, we running these streets, man. Yeah. Oh, you are? You're running the streets, but you're not running the streets, okay? That's still up to the businessmen. We're running the streets. It'll be all white. Don't worry about it. It's all white with me, right? It'll be all white. Oh, God, I should probably go. Hoping you guys have a good one. Try to make the most of it and make the best of it. No one's going to give you anything. No one's going to hand you anything for free. There's no one that's coming around the corner with a big old fucking briefcase full of money saying, where would you like us to put it? You know what I mean? It's not going to happen. So be as creepy as you need to be, but don't act upon it. Get yourself a sex doll or something. Order something from China. Literally. $100, fellas. Ass pussy combo. 22-pounder. $100. It'd be shipped to your house in like 3 days. Straight from fucking China. Smells like rubber, but tastes like shrimp. Smells like rubber and tastes like shrimp. You know I want to dip my nut right in your butt, take you out to Pizza Hut, buy you a slice. I say you're nice. Just don't be a bitch who gives me lice. No crabs, no slabs, no blabs or bibs. I want to put my dick up into her ribs. We're not filling those baby cribs. I like words. I like to rhyme. I do it here and I do it every time. The sun is fun. Go get your gun. Just don't shoot anyone. Okay? You don't have to do that. What do we got here? Message retracted. Fuck you, Vaughn. You fucking fuck. Elmer, why'd you say that? I don't know. I just know that if you're retracting your message, what the fuck? Come on, man. I want to hear it. I want to see it. I want all of it. Give it to me. I'm that kind of guy that when you get if you want my attention, you're going to get all of it. So it's kind of like, you might not want my attention. You really might not want my attention, because if you do get my attention, I'm going to give you all of it. I give you all of my attention. And if you don't like it, I'm going to give it to you more. And why? Well, because I'm spiteful and I'm vengeful. And you fucking bothered me just by trying to get my attention. And couldn't you tell I was focused on something else? So that's another creepiness thing about me, that it's very intense. It's very stern. It's very sincere. It's very earnest, because that's my middle name. It literally is, my middle name is Ernest. Ernest means serious. So yeah, if you want my attention, I give you all of it. And then you're not going to want my attention anymore, because it's like, Jesus Christ, when Elmer is giving me attention, he gives me all of his attention. He's not like thinking thoughts. He's empty-headed and listening to every word I say. I'm listening to you harder than you're listening to you. That's how intense it gets. And that's where I become a corrector, because I'm like, wait, what? You just contradicted yourself. What do you mean? And then when the person is more confused about what they said, they're more confused about what they said than I am. And that becomes a problem. And then that's like, no more attention for you. Even if you want it, I'm going to have to ignore it, because holy fucking shit. That's the attention span. That's really it. It's gone. I do have an attention span. Everyone else's attention span is gone. Could you sit down and focus on something for 18 hours straight? Could you sit there and focus on a dot for 18 hours straight? If you can't, then you haven't practiced. Not like I have. So I guess that's the difference, where you never know where someone's been. You never know what kind of experience they have. You never know how many months they have been sitting there just meditating and listening to their mind run off and burn off all these nasty fucking negative thoughts. I've sat in silence quite a bit. When you sit in silence and you burn off all that negative thinking, and all these thoughts come rushing in and over, and you're not thinking nothing, you're thinking everything. But when you allow yourself to think everything, and you're not shying away from your thoughts by turning on the radio or fucking getting distracted by some Facebook shit, when you actually sit there with it and you go through it, well, I don't want to hear my thoughts, so I'm scared, I get negative. No. Stop waiting until you go to bed to finally listen to yourself. That's the problem. People wake up and then their whole day is distraction. And then when's there no distraction? When you're going to bed. Why do the intrusive thoughts happen then? Well, because you waited all fucking day to listen to yourself. You got in the car, you turned the radio on, you got on Facebook, you did this, you took a shit, you're Facebooking. You're not listening to yourself whatsoever. You'd have to get in silence to listen to yourself. You have to turn the fucking radio off. You have to turn off the people. You have to turn off the chaos around your world. Otherwise, you're just thinking about the world, and you're just thinking about Facebook, and you're always distracted because you're thinking about and listening to something else other than yourself. I'm telling you from my experience that you'll get to know yourself better, which then will help you love yourself more, because you're actually focusing your energy on you. Spend that energy on you. You're spending so much energy on other people. You're spending so much energy on all these other people, all these other things. You want to keep them all afloat. I get it. You love everybody. That's great. But what about you? This one's for me. When does that kick into effect? When do you have that moment? This one's for me, okay? I'm sorry, everybody, but fuck off. This one's for me. I have to do this one for me. This is what I'm doing. If you want to be a part of it, cool. But even then, I don't need your company. I work better alone. I can actually focus, and I like undivided attention. That's rare. It makes me suffer because I want undivided attention from almost anybody and everybody that I talk to, and hardly, like, dude, barely. You barely ever get undivided attention. The only time I can talk without being interrupted is when I'm going live like this, or when I'm actually writing something to somebody. That's why I'd rather message the people than talk to them in person, because in person, you're going to interrupt me. In person, you're going to talk over me. In person, you will not let me finish my fucking thought. There's a lot of people who have one-line thoughts. My ex-girlfriend, all her thoughts were one line. She'd have one line. It was one statement. And I was like, I respect that. That's cool. I wish I was that simple. But when I have a thought, the thought will kick in. There's a paragraph of information in my thought. So for me to get the thought out, it takes me a while, and it takes me a while, because I'm deep. I don't think I'm deep. I just know that there's a lot of information in my thoughts. One-liner thoughts, wow, you can get that right out. Yeah, I'd like to go to the store. I need to go to the store today. A one-liner thought. Okay, that's great. I need to go to the store. Cool. Well, here's my thought. I need to get my life in order because if I don't, I'm going to be a loser like my fucking father. And if I end up being a loser like my father, I might as well just kill my fucking self. So here's just one example of like her thoughts are real one-liner. I need to go to the store. And my thoughts are like, man, if I don't do this, then I'm going to have to do that. And then I'll end up like this if I don't do that. So I better be focusing on this and then go over here. There's so much more to it, but it's still like, no one's better or worse than. It's just, here's the differences. I didn't think that makes you creepy. I think that makes you desperate for human interaction. And hold yourself with a bit of confidence. Stop telling yourself you're creepy. People will start to listen. A big part of your problem is you are probably more intelligent than most people you talk to. Thank you, Rick Sanchez. Thank you, Rick Sanchez. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely correct. I'm very desperate, very lonely, very isolated. It's by my own choosing, but it's also not by my own choosing because when you are talking to people who are not as intelligent or they don't have as good of an understanding, it makes you feel deprived. It makes you feel like you weren't filled with that. Like, I like conversations where you can actually fill each other up. I want to ping pong. Fill. When I'm talking to people, I can't really get on board with it. So then that makes me feel even more fucking isolated. I feel your plight, truly, in a very similar situation, absolutely. It gets tiring having to dumb yourself down just to communicate. That's why I've always been a stoner. Not always, but that's kind of what made me stay a stoner. I'd say it to my brother, hey man, you ready to dumb yourself down so we can fit in? You ready to get dumb so we can actually fucking make it through this world? Yeah, it is a lack of connection. It's a lack of connection because a lot of times I'm talking, people want to correct me, and I'm like, I don't want to correct you, but I could. And if I did correct you as much as you seem to be correcting me, that's all I'd be fucking doing is correcting every statement you just made to me. And that's how I feel about a lot of people I end up talking to, where I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Listening to people who are older than me talk as if they're less wise than I am, I'm baffled. I'm like, how are you older and you know less? And then I look at it, I'm like, well, they didn't listen to themselves, they didn't study themselves, they didn't spend any time alone. They were constantly surrounded by people at their job, at their home, during every waking hour of their fucking everyday life. If you actually go it alone, and you are a loner, and you truly are alone, go spend some real silence, real time alone. It helps you understand yourself. You'll get smarter, but then, like me and Rick know, then you become kind of isolated. It's Schopenhauer. The higher the intellect, the more isolated the man is. And that's just paraphrasing it. I'm brutalizing it, I'm sure, but that's really the gist of it. The smarter you are, the more isolated you're going to be. And then if you do want to hang out with smart people, well, they're usually pretty busy being smart. They don't have a lot of time. And if they do, it's because they're planning something and their ideas. Small people talk about people, average people talk about events, or whatever the fuck that quote is. Intelligence, we talk about ideas. Here's the idea. Elon Musk, for example. Here's my idea. The Department of Government Efficiency. That's a good idea. A pretty good fucking idea. Was an addict a long time. I used to call it before sleep. Used to call it being asleep. I want to live, but I don't want to be here. This is cold, but stop seeing people as equals. See them how they do you as what you can do or be for them. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to not be such a fucking miser. For you, them, until they're not in your life anymore. You will find an equal eventually. Even when they come in, I'm not trying to teach, just passing coping skills. Yeah, oh yeah, that's it. I understand. That's where I've been for the last 2 weeks. Is I've basically told off my mother, my father, my stepfather, my stepmother. Here's the gist of it. I'll tell you real quick. I'll sum it up. I've been masking my whole life. I've been wearing a mask my whole life. I love it. Probably spelled it wrong, but I know it's. Yeah, it's a miser. Curmudgeon. Things of that. I gotta check this off or I'll be right back. Okay. Yeah, I had to check the offer. That's the only way I make money. That's my Walmart offer coming through. So I had to check that really quick. But yeah, it's curmudgeon, miser. I'm trying not to let the world turn me cold. That's really it. So I still try to treat people as nice and as kind as I want to be treated. I want to treat them as intelligent as I'd like to be treated, but that's not necessarily going to happen. So I'm not really concerned with that. I'm more concerned with it's a natural animal thing. You know, we're biological organisms who are social organisms. I'm naturally a social organism. My ego and my personality and my persona have understood that, holy shit, this is all fake. We're all wearing costumes. Literally, we just go around telling each other that your costume's on correctly. Oh, it looks like your costume's on correctly. That's great, but that's fucking what it is. It's just a fucking shit show. It's a circus. It's fun. It's like having front row tickets to the freak show, like Carlin said. George Carlin was one of my favorites. Yeah, it's the same comment. It's just, god damn it. It was doing the same shit last night where it's like, it'll make it look like a new comment comes in when it's like, no, it's not a new comment. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate that because it helps my brain continuously go. That's why I can go for 47 minutes, hour and a half, blah, blah, blah. Do that, yes, but remember it is cold world. Try to not connect so quickly to, I mean, you are right, but we see the herd for life other than capacity. Yeah, it's... I know what I'm doing now, and I'm more focused on what I'm doing than I've ever been. Like right now, in my off time while I'm waiting for orders, I'm live streaming on YouTube so I can add to my numbers for my channel's monetization. This channel isn't monetized yet, but I have my other music channel that is monetized. So no matter what I'm doing now, I'm not spending it trying to get a hold of stupid fucking women. I'm not spending this time that I would, my downtime waiting for orders. I'm now no longer scrolling. I'm no longer scrolling and looking at everything that everyone else creates. I'm creating my own content in my off time now. So that's me being smart and being intelligent and just staying the fuck out of people's lives. I'm in everyone's life in that way, but I'm not. I'm not in their life. I don't care. I don't care at all. Like I've had to focus so much on myself, and people's stupidity has helped me do that. People turning me off so fucking viciously. I'm like, yeah, this is every reason to just go sit in my car and work on music, work on my live stream, work on my persona and my talking and speaking and articulating, and work on my ideas and crafting my ideas. And it's all very self-absorbed. That's where the self-absorption has helped me actually succeed a little bit more, and I'm getting better numbers, and I'm actually feeling better, and I get a breathing exercise by doing this. If I'm just sitting here not talking, I'm literally just light breathing. You're only breathing the air at the top of your lungs because you're light breathing. If you do feel like shit, just push all the fucking air out real quick, and then push it out so far that you let your body naturally inhale. You will not inhale. If you push it out, and then you get all that clean air. I'll give you an example because I'm an asshole. Keep pushing. And just doing that a couple times, you're not breathing just the top air anymore. You actually get a big breath of air, because I've noticed that about my animal and myself. I'm in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, shallow breathing, because I'm sitting here most of the time not talking. Literally. Literally, I'm doing a breathing exercise right now by talking. This is a breathing exercise. Any kind of form of conversation where you're talking, I'm getting my voice to do this, and I'm getting the blood to move and flow, and it's way better. So I appreciate that. That's the only point I was trying to get to. I appreciate you very much because thank you for the breathing exercise. Off. Who do you think I learned that from? Yeah. I'm gonna sub. Take care, friend. Thank you, Rick Sanchez. Rick Sanchez sounds familiar. It's just a really familiar name. Well, thanks for subscribing. I appreciate it. Everything's good. Have a good day. Enjoy yourself. Don't kill yourself. Not until you're 60. If you're 60 and you're listening to this, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. But it's for the young people. Young people that come to me and they're like, man, life's miserable. I just want to kill myself. Hey, man, I'm not against you wanting to kill yourself. So I'm not against that. I'm just, what my advice is wait till you're 60. If you have lived 60 years and you still haven't figured out anything to do, uh, yeah, it's okay. You can kill yourself. It'll be okay. Yeah, you're right on the name. And yeah, got a kid and too many animals to let myself go home. Yeah, dude. Yeah, fuck. I have 4 kids from 3 different women. So I'm kind of black, but just not where it counts. I'm not racist. I told that to my black friends. They laughed their asses off. Isn't that the cliche thing? Well, I told my black friends, and they laughed. Yeah, well, your black friends are probably white, dude. So shut the fuck up, Elmer. And I guess I already have it ready for when I get more traction going with my life. If anyone's like, he's a racist. Yes, I am. Yes, absolutely. I am 100% a human racist. If you're part of the human race, which me included, I'm not that fucking impressed. Yeah, I'm not that fucking impressed. Oh, you're human, are you? Oh, wow, that's great. That's lovely. I should be impressed. Why? Oh, wait, I shouldn't? Oh, wait, I don't give a fuck? Yeah, not even impressed with myself, let alone gonna be impressed with you? Yeah. So that's how it goes, I am a human racist. I'm pretty racist against the human race. I don't like humans whatsoever. I like substances more than I like humans. The marijuana never lets me down. The marijuana and smoking a joint never tells me I'm a piece of shit. It never tells me anything negative. It doesn't lie to me. I like substances more like people because they're more reliable. When I spend $20 to get $20 worth of weed, I know what's going to happen. If I spend $20 on a person, there's no fucking idea. You have no idea what's going to happen. There's no guarantee about anything. You can spend $300 on that person. Still not a guarantee. But then again, if you get yourself a whore or a prostitute, kind of guaranteed. It's like, so what the fuck is the world coming to? Well, the world's coming down to the point where you get what you pay for. And if you don't pay for it, you don't get it. I wanted to be the person who had sex and relationships because I wasn't paying for it. It's like that. Well, you are paying for it no matter what, but not in that way. But no, I guess it's an easier way to just make it more transactionary, more of a transaction, because that's what it is. It's just a transaction. It's all transtorial, whatever the fuck the word is that I'm thinking of. It's transaction, more transaction. I'll give you this, you give me that. I'll let you do this, you let me do that. I'll use you, you use me. I love you, you love me. You mean you use me? I use you. I use you too. I use you so much. I use you so much. I don't know what I would do. I don't want to use you. I don't want to lose you, but I want to use you. I know, right? Yeah. Well, anyways, you guys have a good one. I gotta go buy more smokes. I gotta get out of here. Dude, saw the donkey short, had to come back and say, ha ha ha, okay, take care. And yeah, you're always paying for it. Hook. Hookers are cheaper and only cost money, not pieces of soul. From Kentucky. Awesome. I was born in Tennessee. Only stayed till I was 3. Have a good day, Rick. Have a good day, man. Thanks for watching my thanks for looking at my ass. Did you just look at my ass? Hey, did you just... You call him up. You ask him, did you touch my ass? Did you touch my ass? Did you touch my ass? Yeah, you looked at my ass. Take care, Elmer. Haha. Thanks for looking at my ass. It's the same as Mike Tyson, man. Mike Tyson's ass is everywhere. His ass is all over the fucking internet. It's great. I got the one meme of it's Mike Tyson's ass, and it's like, yeah, me after wiener and your mom. Me looking for the fruit snacks after wiener and your mom. How is that not staged? How is that an accident? We just accidentally, the camera guy's just gonna accidentally move over to Mike Tyson's ass. Yeah, we're just gonna, and it's right after he basically comes up, his son talks to him, he kisses his son goodbye, walks away, and the camera guy's like, let's pan over to the right and get Mike Tyson's ass in this jockstrap. What the fuck, man? It's because of the culture we live in, the society we live in. We already know what's going to be a meme. You already know. You're like, that'll be a meme. Check this out. Boom. Instantaneously. It's fucking crazy. It's only going to get weirder. It's going to get stranger. It'll be good, though. I need to go to the store and go get some cigarettes. Take a drink of your Red Bull, Mr. Hall. Oh, okay. I've had to practice being myself. That's all it was. I've taken the last 4 years from like, I'm almost 38. So from 34 until 38, I've basically just taken these years to really get to know who the fuck I am. I used to live in Detroit. I lived in Detroit for those 4 years almost. Got to go to a bigger city. Got to work for Amazon, got to deliver to 8 Mile every fucking day, got to see black culture and Asian culture and Indian culture and every other culture and the Jews and everybody. I got more expansion to the actual, I just got more cultured. So now I understand where I stand in the world. When I was in this little podunk shithole town that I come from, when you're measuring yourself up against a bunch of podunk layman retards, that's all you're gonna feel like is a layman podunk retard. Then you measure yourself up against city people where there's so many different people and it's such a different diverse culture. Then you have a better understanding of where you stand in the world. You can contrast it more. There's more contrast. I was living in my shithole little hometown, not much contrasting. There's not much differences. You're either this, or this. So the last 4 years have been really educational, eye-opening, life-changing, and profound. It's only going to get better. I'm only going to get better, especially when I get off the drugs. I'm only on marijuana, but it makes me so fucking lazy and so stupid that I don't want to do anything, because once I get high, I'm exactly where I want to be, and I don't want to go anywhere else. And then any other form of anything is like, I don't want to fucking, why the fuck would I want to do that? God damn, that doesn't involve feeling good and being high. So, love ya. Have a good one. We're all creeps.